Peace, Pandora. Peace, Andrea. Peace to the world.
Peace, peace.
We're here live tonight. Got a little special presentation. I have brought the Enigma in tonight, the man of mystery,
Hey,
Dap Dunlap.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's it going, good brother?
Everything is everything. How about you,
As it
man?
should be. All is well over here, man. Got the young lion with me this weekend. So
Mhm.
chilling with him. Got me taking him to the fair tomorrow. That
Right
wasn't
on.
planned, but now it is. So yeah, man. Just kick back. Um got something I was working on the machine, a new beat. Um Crazy title. I'm in my art bag on this title. Uh what did I name this joint? Oh, Cosmic Structure and Evolution.
Mm.
Oh yeah. I gotta change the bass line in it. It's pretty much done. I just want to redo the bass line. I feel like the bass line is it's too simple. It was something I wanted to it's like a reference bass line in there right now.
Hmm.
And but I know I had to go back and change it. But I wanted to just find what bass sound made sense, but I gotta make a more complete bass line for it. So, but other than that, it's it's ready to go. So yeah, working on that and just uploaded Art and Everything. I think that's Opus 7. So uploaded that to my channel tonight. And yeah, man, other than that, just doing the work as you know.
So, tell them what your channel is?
Oh, digital musical art on YouTube, digital musical art on Instagram. That's the only two social media platforms I'm on. Um, I don't usually post that much on Instagram, or I haven't yet. I did upload some of the tracks from my YouTube on there, but I have to upload some more. But yeah, that's the channel, digital underscore musical underscore art. That's where you can find me.
So, let me give the people some background.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this digital underscore musical art. Put that in the chat. So, I did it twice. Um, so tonight's discussion is a follow up to, I guess, maybe the last one, a couple of lives back, where I played some music, some new music, and I told everybody that we have a new project that is done called Dominance Hierarchy. At the time that I played those, the remaining tracks had not been mixed. Now everything is mixed, and
Mm,
it's the chamber is loaded.
indeed.
And so we will say this, that this new project, divine willing, we're going to release it on the winter solstice
Yes.
2025. That's December 21st, 2025, Dominance Hierarchy. And So the purpose of tonight is to give a backdrop to this music, this project, and to just the music that we create, and to try to explain. It's very confounding to explain spiritual things. But we're going to try to explain how the journeys through the world of metaphysics, the occult, through self discovery, and how they individually were on their own trajectories, and how these lines connected and merged, and then it led into the music. And peace, divine rights, and peace, Mason. Hopefully we can make sense of this. So we used to do a little podcast called the Think Music Podcast, and you know, life, as the road of life meanders, you know, things just go as they go, you know. So we weren't able to keep it rolling. But what we want to do tonight is kind of walk you through the journey and have a conversation, and maybe give you a little ear candy too.
Indeed.
So we figured that we would start with how we got started. And so how you want to kick that off, Dap?
Well,
2017.
2017. The brother follows my link to SoundCloud.
Okay, hold on. We gotta give him the whole backstory.
Okay.
I did a lecture on my other channel called what was it? The stomach.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
So my ex-wife watched this video through what's the brother's name?
Alim
Alim. So I had turned her on to Alim. She started watching Alim on herself, and she watched Jamal's video on the stomach. She told me about it, and I watched it, and he was on something back then that I hear people starting to talk about now, how the brain and the stomach are, well, the stomach is like the brain of the body or something in that way. So she turned me on to the video. I watched it, and he told me that he clicks on people's name to see if they real or whatever. And he clicked on mine, and
you had commented on the video, I think.
Yeah, and it went to my YouTube, and I believe from my YouTube, the links were on my YouTube, and then he went to SoundCloud and was going through some tracks, and then this track I made called Freelance grabbed him, and I think also through my wife through email, she gave you my number.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's how we started talking on the phone. And then once we started, and once me and him started talking on the phone, we've been talking on the phone ever since. So, but we got into talking about the music, and I went on his page and I seen some music videos he had put out some time ago. And I'm a lyricist guy when it comes to hip hop. And when I heard him spitting, I said, yeah, he got a pen. Um, so we're talking, and at that time I was really just getting my feet wet, making beats again and making them on new equipment. I used the Native Instruments machine, and I was just really getting my feet wet and making beats again. And even when I made beats before, at the time I was rapping, so I really wasn't concentrating on the production. Like I had ideas and I would make beats, but at the time my cousin was making all of the beats and I was just concentrating on writing. But when he wasn't around and the equipment was free, I would dabble on the ASR 10 and make beats. Um then later on I got my own ASR 10 and got to understand it better and started making tracks back in Pennsylvania. But so me and him chopping it up, and chime in if I miss anything. But we started chopping it up, and I was asking him about, you know, can he, write into the beats? Can he make music to the beats? Write to the beats. And in the beginning, he said like it when he first heard them, they was kind of like different. And I was like, nah, man, you got a pen. Like you could write. Like you could write to anything. And that first beat, Freelance, was the one that grabbed him. And it grabbed him. Peace to the brother. He ran my he ran my streams up for real, like honestly. And
on SoundCloud, yeah, I was running
SoundCloud, man. Like I was like,
because I was writing.
And that track had 1,000 plays. So he wrote to that, and I was like, well, I'll just start sending you beats that I make. And that's when I started sending him beats. And I also told him, write to whatever feeling you got from Freelance, excuse me, whatever feeling you got from Freelance, anything I send you and it touch you in that way, write to it. And we could put music out. Just write to what touch you. No force writing, no, you know what I mean? And he was like, bet. So I just started and at this time I was on the beat making run. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see over the last year I've been uploading 4 beats a week since last maybe October, November, I think late October. All those beats were in my hard drive. He has them, but they were never released to the public. So I probably released over probably maybe 200 might be a stretch, but I released a bunch of beats, definitely over 100, I believe. So yeah, that's kind of where it started. He heard that one beat, liked it. I started sending him beats, and then he began to write to what touched him.
And then in the midst of all this, we just started chopping it though, just about life shit, yes, metaphysics, quote unquote conspiracy stuff, and that was in the midst of starting to work on the beats. I mean, on the music, and this is just something to the effect around about what they say about manifestation or whatever. When I started listening on SoundCloud, there was no means at the time to even record nothing, or that wasn't even on the table. It was just, I just started writing, just like, just imagine if I did spit to this, I would do it this way, and writing, and it's almost like a child using their imagination. You imagining that you like, I remember as a kid imagining that I was at the Oakland Raiders I'll be outside playing and I'm thinking, I'm imagining that I'm Marcus Allen,
Yes.
or
Yes.
um
100%.
and just letting your imagination roam. And there's no set idea of this thing materializing. You just in the moment.
Yes.
So all them streams he had on SoundCloud for me playing the beat over and over as
Yeah.
I'm writing, because that's the way I write. I'll write a certain amount and then, okay, let me start the beat back over, and then and then some more stuff comes, start the beat back over, and I guess by 2018 we recorded the first thing. I think it was Beats Need Bars.
Beats need bars.
2018 or 2019, one or the other. So we ended up over the past that's about 6-7 years now, we've put out quite a bit of music.
Yes.
And I had to knock some rust off, when you're not been in the studio. And then it was finding engineers, the right engineer.
Went through like 4 or 5.
Oh man, more than that. Dude giving me broken headphones and the mic, the wires coming all out, babies running around the house and shit, and or go to one dude, he's like, "Oh, what you trying to do? Some spoken word?"
That was hilarious.
Oh my
He told
God,
me that I was bugging off
right here. Obviously, this is not his speed. What I'm talking about. And I went to one kid record Beats Need Bars. He did good on that till I came back, and the lyrics was talking about something. That all of a sudden my vocals get muddy, the sound is all muffled. So here we go hunting again for it. So by this time, what is that? That's 3 engineers. I go to a dude in Dallas, that's 4. I had to go to another dude, that's 5. So we went through 5 engineers before we found a dude who has engineered platinum records. He's got records hanging up in the studio. And this dude is who we've been using for about the past 5 years.
Yes.
And he does his thing. So I guess we want to transition the conversation now to, well, we can't skip this part. What was difficult when I first heard his beats is because I was used to the typical 16 bars chorus, 16 bars chorus. And I, as a listener, be like, I don't know where no chorus can fit in. And these beats they're not they don't
that way.
They don't seem structured. And that's why I told him, I was like, man, I don't know if I can write to this because I ain't used to where I'm gonna put my hook, And then and that was when he was like, man, just write. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take that as a challenge. I'm just gonna write. The next major epiphany came when this was after we had already been working for a minute, to where I would take whatever he gives all his beats some type of title.
Mm-hmm.
And I always would just change them to whatever I thought, I want to make the theme of the song. The breakthrough, this is where the magic and the metaphysics comes in. The breakthrough came when he would send the title and I write to the title.
Mm-hmm.
So Dominance Hierarchy is all titles for beats that he had created, and he sends me this boatload of beats, and I listen to all of these beats, and these beats are within a certain time frame that he's, they sent within a certain time frame. So I'm listening to, I don't know how it might be 15, 16, 20 beats. And I'm just going through listening. And in my mind, I'm like, I like that one. Japanese denim. Ooh. When flutes play. The Gnosis knows. Life in the balance. The subtle things. Only train home. Fuzzy lines.
Critical response.
And listen to this title. Occult Anatomy of Man. even if he would have made that motherfucker on a Casio, I would have had to do something with it just off the title. I said, I gotta do something. That's my wheelhouse. That's what I do on the internet, And then the last one was dominance. Just listen to this shit. Dominance hierarchy. And so this is 2022.
Yep, 2022.
When I get these beats. And I told him, I was like, man, I like doom, doom, doom. It's like, damn, that almost sound like a project.
No, so
okay, so run it back. I mean, I might have missed something.
You called me because this is how it happens. I send him the beats. I don't know what he gonna like or not. I just send him. A quick backstory. I used to hang with these producer guys online, and they all made beats. And we used to talk about when you make an instrumental, if it's no lyrics, you have to do things within the beat that make people want to listen to it. Like if you go back and listen to the hip hop that we grew up on, and you listen to it as an instrumental, there's really no breakup in the beats for real until either a DJ cuts a chorus in, or they sample a chorus in, or the MCs says a chorus. But the beats are really just straight beats. So the thing with us was we got to keep people enthralled because it's an instrumental. And I come from a jazz background. So I took the jazz concept and put that into my beats. So that's why it might be only 8 bars of what he would say is a verse. And then it could be a chorus, it could be a bridge, it could be just a transition, because I put a lot of transitions in my beats, and I make beats from different perspectives. Excuse me, I'm drinking this kombucha. Excuse me. Some of my beats need bars. Those are just going to be straight up what we grew up on type beats. Then I got melodic minimalism, where my thought is the melody will catch you. And then I have jazz with a hip hop mindset. That's going to be a more intricate beat. And those are like the 4, using my Wu-Tang slang, those are like the 3 chambers I work in. Beats need bars, melodic minimalism, hip hop with a jazz mindset. So, and when I sit down and make beats, I have no idea what I'm going to make. I hear samples, and I make organic beats too, but I hear samples. I'm like, oh, that got me. I chop it up and I make a beat. I don't know what it's going to be. So I just send him the beats. He called me one day after I sent them those beats, and he said like 5 of them off top. So when he gets to 4 or 5, that's when it's project time. And that's what it was. I remember he named 5 of those beats, and then as he continued to listen, we got the other 5, but they were all in the same time frame when I sent them.
Okay, let me break in right here and say this to that point.
Okay.
We can't gloss over what has just been said. When people do projects, normally they go, and I've done it myself, where I go and I'm going through somebody's beats with the attempt to do a project. This was not an attempt to do a project. It was just, hey, I made some beats. I'm gonna send out these beats, and I just listen to them. And this is what we mean by real, actual, organic. It's not. It's we don't set out to like, okay, we're gonna do this project, and we need to have a song. Like back in the day, we need to have a club banger. We need to have one that's gonna be one for the ladies. We need to have one that's for the streets. You know what I'm saying? That used to be our era. That's how you would put a project together.
Do the record.
None of that. It's just he's not even thinking about. He just making the beat.
That's it.
And it's all, and the beat is also going to be influenced by what's going on in life at the time. Like, what's the emotional state? What is your mind? And like these things influence. How do I know? Because if we chopping it up, I know what's going on in his life at the time. And you can, and I've been able to sit back and listen to the beats, cataloging life at these different times,
Indeed.
But at the same time, the beats sometimes, like, okay, a lot of people do a project and it's like, okay, like we like Lil Brother, and like they were talking about how they're one of their last projects. We went to LA to listen to some beats, and we listened to some beats from Crisis and such. It's not that different producers. This is one producer, but if you listen to this project, the beats sound like they could have come from different producers.
Right.
So I just wanted to make sure that was interjected.
And these beat titles, I listen to a lot of lectures, watch a lot of, I'm a YouTube scholar, from 2010 to now. My beat titles come from listening to jazz, and two artists, well, one mainly, Jean-Luc Ponty. I got turned on to him through my Uncle Greg, my dad's brother. And my Uncle Greg and my dad are jazz heads. I grew up on jazz. And I was listening to a Jean-Luc Ponty album. It could have been Open Mind or I forget his album titles right now, but I was like, how do you name instrumentals? That was the thing. I was like, how do these guys name these name these instrumentals? Like, how do they do that? Like, and so what I did was a beat like Dominance Hierarchy. I got to give it up to the brother A.A. Rashid. And listening to him, I kept hearing him talk about Dominance Hierarchy. And I'm like, yo, that's an ill title. And that's how titles come to me. I could be watching a movie and I watch movies with the subtitles on. So it could be a conversation and somebody might say two words that just grab me. And it could, it could be anything. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And because I'm into art and architecture and painters and all of these different things, like I have art books around my apartment, stuff like that. Like I got this book right now, Abstract Expressionism. That's a beat title for me. Now when I make a beat, I don't have a title. Growing up, when we was on the ASR 10, if something happened, you could lose your beat if you didn't save it. So when I get a sample, I chop it up, I get the drums, I get the main idea down, then I go for the title, just in case something happened with my computer, cut off or whatever, and I lose the beat. I name the beat, and I have notes full of titles that come to me. Sometimes a title will come to me just in thinking. Sometime from a movie, like I said, sometime from a lecture, whatever, watching the art podcast or something. They come to me in various ways. And my whole concept behind behind it was, when you read the title, I want the beat to make you think about the title. That's my alchemy behind my beat. When you look at the title, I want you to ruminate on the title while listening to the beat. So um so like Japanese Denim, I used to listen to this channel called The Casual. He's from America, but he lives in Japan. And he talks about Japanese fashion. And one day in one of his videos, he was talking about Japanese denim and the structure of it and how long it lasts, and like you don't have to wash the jeans, and over years they get patina and they break in and this and that. And I'm like, Japanese denim, like that's a crazy beat title. So I wrote that in my notes. One day I'm making this beat. In this beat, I buy these expansions from Machine, and they had an expansion called Freeform. And I was going through it, and I heard something I liked, and I was able to play it on 2 pads within the expansion, and they created a drum track. And then I added some keys around it. And when I got done, I was like, oh, looking through my titles, I'm like, Japanese Denim. Once I make the beat and I look through the titles, sometimes you can't, sometimes this stuff is unexplainable. But when I make the beat and I look through my titles, I just find one that fits it. It always seems to happen.
So Japanese Denim is the first track on this project, Dominance Hierarchy. So he just told you how he came up with the title. Now, when I get the beat, I don't know nothing about this.
Right.
But I got a title called Japanese Denim. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? But my mind is already thinking, this got to be some high-end shit. Because if it's just off common sense, it's like just basic wit. I'm like, Japanese denim.
Yeah, that's gonna run you 200 and up.
So this beat, go ahead. You give them some more of the backdrop of the beat, and I'm gonna come in with how I interpret it. Because what we're trying to show is how the process works. I was watching, I'm gonna say this real quick. Before we got on, this documentary pops up of Larry June, The Alchemist, and 2 Chainz. They're working on that project. What's the name of that project again they did?
Life is Beautiful.
Life is Beautiful.
It's dope.
They in Cali, then they in Atlanta in the studio, then they in New York. They're doing, and the cameras in the studio, and they all these people in there, and they're brainstorming on how they're gonna sequence the album, what's gonna be the titles of the tracks. They go in and spit a little something. 6,000 blunts getting rolled up, and so this is like probably the antithesis of that. Not saying nothing wrong with that, but this is like there's no collaboration other than he makes the beat and just like, look at these beats I got. And then I say, okay, whatever title, I challenge myself as a writer, whatever title, I'm going to interpret it in my way, and we're going to write, and I'm going to write. And this is how these shits come together. It's just real, like, this is magic. So I just wanted to interject that. Thank you, Black Butterfly. She said, I am thoroughly enjoying this conversation.
Thank you.
So do you want to give any backdrop on the beat?
Yes. So another thing I do when I'm making beats, I make beats on my PC. This also plays into the alchemy. But I have my laptop open, and I might have a fashion show on. I might have a uh, a documentary, like I said, on a painter. I might have Virgil Abloh on. And what I do, like if I got a fashion show on and I'm making the beat, when I get to a point where the beat is cooking and then I sit back, I might be listening to it. I'll look at the fashion show and see what's going on and checking the fashion out. Cause I love, like I really love art and architecture and fashion and how things lay on people and all of that. Like that's what I come to find out here lately. Me and the brother was talking about it in private. I found out what gives me joy and love. And it's really architecture and art, man. Like it's crazy. So I'll have my laptop up, and as I'm making beats, I always have something on the laptop. Um, it might be, a guy touring a $50 million home. You know what I'm saying? It might be a documentary on a Bentley being made, or a Porsche being made, or BMW being made, like in the factory. That's the type of stuff I be watching. So that'll be on while I'm creating. So I'm watching either someone's creation or something being created while I'm creating. And I'll look at that for a minute, and then that'll inspire me as I continue working on the beat. So that's just another, another level to the alchemy. I'm sorry, bro. What was the question?
Nah, I was just saying if you want to just backdrop on the beat, as far as the beat is a crazy beat. Because what I wanted to do was like, if we go through the titles of each one, and if we do a quick blurb on what type of sound will the people get from each beat is. Oh, let me say this first. The theme of our music is, or one of our lines is, when you listen, put your headphones on. If you look at the as a matter of fact, I need to have that shit up here. I need to have that logo up here, because the logo for Think Music is a crown, headphones sitting on a crown on top of the words Think Music.
Right.
And the theme is, what we're trying to impress is, we want you to really listen.
Yes.
So we want you to listen 3 times with 3 sets of ears to each song. We want you to listen the first time, listen to the music, the instrumental. So, you're going to have all the stuff going, but lock your mind in to what you're hearing from the instrumentals. And if you can, get in a dark room and be quiet and listen to our music. It's not party music. Listen to it, and you're going to hear these intricate things. You're going to hear shit panning from one ear to the other. You're going to hear like some shit sound like some glass maybe faintly breaking in, like little listen to all of that. It's an experience. Then when you listen the second time, listen to the lyrics. And when you listen to the lyrics, listen. There's no wasted bar. Every bar has got something. It's like Kabbalah. When you take the Kabbalah, shows us that each word is a world of infinite worlds within each letter. Each word is composed of letters that themselves are composed of infinite letters. Okay, so listen intricately, right? And then the third time, listen to the whole thing come together.
Yes, listen to it in this totality.
And that's why, we're taking this approach. Damn, I don't even know where I went off on But
No, I think that's a good start. Because growing up listening to jazz, off top, my drums are gonna be boom bap. I'm hip hop. Drums is gonna be boom bap. Everything on top is coming from a jazz mindset. This is why he used that term trinkets. And one day I one day I played it. One day he I sent him a beat and we was talking on the phone and he was like, "Man, I was listening to that beat and I was waiting for the trinkets to come in. And when that trinket came in, I was like, yeah, it might have been Dominance Hierarchy. No, it was a Code Anatomy of Man. And he was like, bro, when I heard that trinket come in, I was like, oh, that's the one. So so that's how my beats are. It's gonna be boom bap drums, but everything on top is coming from a jazz mindset. And if you ever listen to Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Lee Morgan, Freddie Hubbard, Pat Metheny, Jean-Luc Ponty, I mean, I can name a bunch of guys. They were always about pushing the boundaries in their music. You know, Miles Davis changed music 6 times. So he started in the 50s, and by the time he passed away, he was incorporating hip hop into his jazz. So so I come from that mindset of a jazz guy. I don't know how to read music. I don't play piano, guitar, none of that stuff. Um, a lot of producers, hip hop producers especially, we just have an ear. And sometimes we don't even know what we do makes sense until somebody that reads music or play music was like, yo, how you put, this C sharp with a B flat, and how does that make sense? And it's like, it just sound right. You know what I'm saying? Is that simple. It just sound right. That's just pure creativity. Without knowing the intricate ways of how music is, made by reading it or what you're playing. But that's just another caveat of like, that's how I create the music. So when y'all listen to these tracks, we're gonna play a few tonight. When y'all listen to these tracks, like you said, each one's different. So um, you probably won't think I made them all. But you know, the one thing about us is like he told me just make them, and I was like, just write. So I don't know what he's writing until he sends it to me. Like I don't know anything. He's just like, yo, I'm writing. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know what beats he's gonna like. I just send them. Um, and that's another part of the organics. Is like we don't sit on the phone and I'm like, he's not like, yo, you should change your drums and you know, the old Ninth Wonder thing. Like you still using them? Why are you using the same drums? Like, nah. It's just I make music with no input, and he writes with no input. So you're actually you get pure alchemy of the guy listening to the beats, and then it inspires him to write. And then when he writes from an inspired place, you get magic.
I think the secret sauce is that a person who likes to be in control, complete control of my creativity, I relinquish some of that, especially as a writer. I'm a writer by trade, by training, beyond just writing, lyrics. So like, for my website, when they building my site, I tell them I write my copy. Nobody else is going to write my copy. You can make adjustments for SEO and all that, but I'm writing the copy. So for me to relinquish a big part of the writing process, which is I give up the title And part of it, like if you work for a marketing company, you do this anyway. You know, I used to work for a marketing company where we wrote for dentists, and they just send you a prompt. This is going to be about dentures, and you got to write to this. So I applied that type of mindset to this. Like, okay, this is going to be about something Japanese denim. Well, shit. So I'm laying, I'm laying there because I be, a lot of these things I'm writing at night after everybody's gone to sleep, and I'm just, I'm laying there, and right before I go to sleep, like I'm gonna write a little bit, and the first bars, is Japanese denim with the sharp creases in them. The king made plans, the fool caused an addendum. Whether ruled by right or ruled by force, the people wanted to feel that they actually had a choice. Now, if you think about this, this is 2022. We've been sitting on this for 3 years. Now, just go and think about all the stuff about old Chuck Kirk. Think about Kamala Harris. Think about Trump. Listen to the bars came in and said, whether ruled by right or ruled by force, the people wanted to feel that they actually had a choice. The path they were on required a new course. So amongst their own ranks, they were searching for a voice. This is what the people think, that everybody looking for their champion right now.
The Messiah.
Listen, no royals or bourgeois, elites or bruja. They wanted authentic, organic, no hoopla. Funny how what starts with the best intentions is tainted. A champion rose up, but the face he wore was painted. They saw Messiah touch his garment and fainted. Little did they know that the game played was ancient. Create an idol, give him a title or her, long as the vision blur. God will be confused with the character Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur used to play Jesus in the movies back in the 50s. God will be confused with the character Ben-Hur. Now, I wrote, this was 2022. Now, you got this one, this is the magic. He created the beat from his own inner world. I take his title, and then I just interpret it.
Yes.
Because to me, I'm thinking Japanese denim is some sharp shit. This is like, to me, I'm thinking of some ninjas who wearing Japanese denim. Like, these dudes is cold. You know what I'm saying?
No
and
doubt.
This is some elite group that's on some real covert, murder mayhem type shit. And it's just your imagination runs. You know what I'm saying? So these titles, man, when flutes play, the Gnosis knows. So it give you the title. Gnosis knows. Number 4 is what's that? Life in the Balance.
Yep. Number
5 is The Subtle Things. We're gonna play The Subtle Things for you tonight. What's the next one? It is Only Train Home.
Yes.
Then after that, Fuzzy Lines. I played that a couple weeks ago. Then after that, Critical Response.
Yes.
Occult Anatomy of Man.
Yes.
And then Dominance Hierarchy, the title track. We're going to play Dominance Hierarchy for you tonight. And we're going to play The Subtle Things. And I think those are 2 tracks that give you an idea of the difference in the production, the way it seems like, maybe to me, and I may be biased, but to me it seems like it sounds like 2 different producers could have produced these. You know how producers got their sound, like Zaytoven and Mustard and Timberland, they got these signature sounds. And I was telling him, I was like, man, it's like you ain't got no signature. I mean, I feel like I know what little things is, but they're not. It's because I know to expect what not to hear. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like they sound that there's not a signature sound, and I was like, that's the shit right there.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the whole evolution of sitting down and not knowing what's going to come forth, but using that jazz mindset of go further, use some sounds that aren't the usual sounds they use, chop up a record. When I started, I got over 345s and probably 250 records or something like that. And when I used to go digging, I, in my mind, was looking for what Q-Tip wouldn't look for, what Dilla wouldn't look for, what Pete Rock wouldn't look for, Large Professor. These is all the guys I grew up listening to, Digging in the Crates crew. And when I listen to these guys in interviews or on podcasts or what have you, and they talk about their digging process, I know what they're looking for. When you heard all the soul samples, guys was digging for soul. When you hip hop started in the 90s, they was finding a lot of jazz samples, which that's what made me want to make beats. When I heard the Tribe Called Quest first album, that's what made me want to really make beats, because some of those samples I heard in my grandfather's backyard. And I was like, me and my cousin, we grew up doing music together. Shout out to him. We would hear something, and then we would go to my dad or my Uncle Greg and be like, yo, like y'all know this record? And sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. But that's what made me want to make beats. A Tribe Called Quest first album, and I was already a big fan. And I started just digging for jazz records, and then it just blossomed into whatever. And you'll always hear these guys talk about, some of the times they didn't know the artist, but the album cover was crazy. So they like, yo, this album cover is crazy. It gotta be something on it. So my records is like, it's some known stuff in there, but then there's some obscure stuff that I don't think they would have grabbed. And then sometimes I follow their lead, like, when I did Freelance, I found out the artist Q-Tip used for the remix to Craig Mack's Get Down. He did the remix to Craig Mack's Get Down, and the sample he used, I found out who the band was. So I was like, well, let me go through and that's one thing about having streaming. I'm able to look up the artists and go through their whole catalog. And where before you just might have seen the record and then that was it. So now I go through the whole catalog. So I go through the artist catalog and I find Freelance. And I'm like, oh, this is bananas. And then I chopped it up and made it. And then it touched Jamal, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I pull. That's where I pull from. Just listen to the guys I grew up with, and then kind of following their lead, and then taking it on myself. So, yeah, man, the process.
Well, you want to give them a little taste of?
It's time.
Let's start off with what you want to go, subtle. It's the subtle things or dominance.
Let's go subtle. Showing my my neo soul bag a little bit.
Okay.
Even though that's the intention, but then after you listen to it, you're like, yeah, that's kind of because people got to give something. A box has to be made. So
Right.
and I'll
Right.
take the Neo Soul box because what I'm saying I was into that. I'm a big Jill Scott fan, so
Shout out to D'Angelo,
and by doing rest easy to D'Angelo.
fellow Aquarian. All right. Here we go. The subtle things. Minus the Mazel Tov, the melancholy mask is on. The Matrix turns to marathon for those who are masculine, and God forbid if melanin is showing through your epiderm. You consider it epidemic, public enemy one. This manuscript is written on the membrane of a Macedon. Prehistoric pantheons will never die. Carry on. Caravans of Canaans, Moabites and Sayans. The oppressors prey on and look for ground to lay on. Then get bit by a lion, Judah, a Leon. These words get sprayed on the wall that fate's on. When the ship come, we phase on. The shift is a phaeton. The burden weighed a ton and suddenly is gone. Yeah, it's the subtle things that make your Aki's heart sing. The bellows from the diaphragm where honey's made from bees' wings. The laughter of a child brings some balance to the bloodstream. When war is at your front door, some peace is a welcome thing. It's the subtle things that make your Aki's heart sing. A quiet that drips from full springs from under earth where life clings. Better than ever, the word in every endeavor. Better than clever, the truth is wisdom ever. If you should doubt it and attempt to count it, just know that this is powered by no force, no time devours. No army cowers, no hate can sour. Cause on this hour, the seed flowers. Before the switching of scenes, let's hope that life finds its means. Allegiance to the right team. The murky water's now clean. The darkened path is now seen. The subtle things are now gleaned. The hero conquers the fiend. Ballast achieved on the beam. As this discovered in a time capsule in future times. Just know in this era there existed an enlightened mind. He carried water and within its essence was divine. Seated 3 daughters and the sun whose brilliant lights would shine. This type of light, let's be honest, is a rare kind. He aged gracefully, not hastily, fine wine. The word is arguably the artistry of the Arcanine. Articulate armory in the arteries is aquanine. Aboard to authorities with alliances, the sciences, defiances, the answer to truly finding this. Ein is first, Ein soft second, Ein soft earth. Check it for the record, he is vested, he is tested. Gold a product from the dark, wet, ingested. Mic check it, 1, 2, bipedal. Babes and fetus, prodded with needles, protected nightly by scarab beetles. Not John, Paul, or Ringo. Peep the lingo. Awakened souls moving step like the rhythm's equal. Beautiful flowers growing up from fecal. Matters not if not approved by the people. The word. Yeah, that's the subtle. It's the subtle thing. So yeah, this definitely gotta. I could see people putting that as a neo soul vibe.
Yes. No samples in that too. No samples.
No samples.
No samples in that. That's just me.
So I want y'all, you heard that. Now I want you to hear dominance hierarchy when I say I don't think there's no distinct sound. Like I think this could have been easily from another producer, but it's not. And dominance hierarchy, before we play this, one thing I did when I went to record is I tried to do a build up to the title track, because dominance hierarchy is the last track. And what I did is I did these 2 interludes. And if you don't mind, Dap, I wanna play these things before we get to
For sure.
Let's see, interlude 1. Come on, man. And interlude 2. Okay, I messed up something. Let me backtrack. Okay. Let me find this. Y'all bear with me. MP3. It's got to be an MP3. And where is interlude 2? This one. Because what we're doing is we want to prepare the listener to listen, which is why we even doing this. Okay. Y'all bear with me. Let me find these real quick and let me upload these two. Because when you get the project, after the third song, it's going to be interlude number 1, which will be this. The divine is always knowing, but for it to know itself, it allows its energy to flow through cycles of original knowing and ignorance. The knowing is the rise, and the ignorance is the fall. We are in a time of divine gnosis re-emerging. The all is again remembering who and what it is. The current dominant hierarchy has been dependent and fed upon the ignorance of man. But now they are afraid because the end of their cycle approaches, the end of the dominance hierarchy. Then when we get about 2/3 of the way through the project, then interlude number 2 comes on. In certain Hindu teachings, it's said that we are bound to the wheel of reincarnation or the wheel of samsara until we achieve enlightenment, the realization and cultivation of the inner light. And that's the way out of here. That's the only train home. So as it applies to the dominance hierarchy, we always think that their motives are to make more money, but that ain't the case. The money only matters for peasants, commoners. The true goal of the dominance hierarchy is to keep souls trapped here. For what, you may ask? To be their food. So the purpose of these was to try to remind the consumer of this art throughout this project what the basic theme is behind this. You know, this is our form of warfare. Art is high science, and it is high science that can be used in warfare. Because anything that reinvigorates the soul, that speaks to a seeking of deeper meaning out of life, is the direct antithesis to a dominance hierarchy.
Yep. Makes me think of the political cartoonists back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, got the fat robber baron with the top hat on, and in the dress jacket with the tails and all of that. Right. Fat cat running with a what you call them, the Monopoly man.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that said, we'll go to the title track, Dominance Hierarchy. Yo, somebody must get stepped upon for me to squeeze my corns in these Allen Edmonds. Patent leather with the satin comma bond. James Bond aura, accent from Okay, I'm sorry. Look, I gotta let me say one thing about this. I'm writing this from the perspective of I try to take on the mindset of the actual member of the dominance hierarchy. Let me say that. I
Okay.
apologize. But I want to make sure this is almost like when Nas takes on the persona of the gun.
Ooh, I gave you power.
So I want to take on the persona of the actual dominance hierarchy and trying to speak his psyche in this song. From across the pond, parsimony.
Hey, you gotta go from the top. Go from the top. Go from the top.
I'm trying to figure out. Quite frugal. Keep the cup. Okay, now it'll restart. Yo, somebody must get stepped upon for me to squeeze my corns in these Allen Edmonds. Patent leather with the satin comma bond. James Bond aura, accent from across the pond. Parsimonious, the bread quite frugal. That's what keep the cupboard full. There's chips in my bugle. The coffee still ridiculous. The peacoat meticulous. A packer on the collar, glow on the pinky and wrist. Davidoff cigar, no smoke in the dubbar. The king with two eagle heads, a palm like I'm Jabbar. Kareem is a Kareem through the city like a dream. The peasants pay me homage like I'm Jesus on the scene. I'm clean, but in the inside I'm dirty. Responsible for taking out a whole country by the age of 30. That was like work, no blood on my shirt. Now at night I can't sleep, cause with Beelzebub I flirt. He pays well, but in the end I get jerked. My woman don't respect me, she's with me for the power. Inhale a block of sour just to pass miserable hours while I medicate my pain locked away in glass towers. Dominance, hierarchy, bourgeoisie, oligarchy. The art of being a failed copy of a carbon copy. Illuminated still lack the light of a Carminati. The plot is sloppy, still I press on. Without the scepter in my hand I might get stepped on. The breastplate that my crest on, I know belong to the man the sun rests on. Dominance, hierarchy, bourgeoisie, oligarchy. Kleptomania fuels my rage, I'm cocky. While underneath, ironically, I feel oddly estranged from nature. Netta's yes sir. If Gaia is a broad, then I'm upset with her. She's left me in the mountains to the beasts I was served. Had to fight for my life when the ice age occurred. When I emerged, covered in thick fur, my eyes turned cobalt and my vision got blurred. My woman I was hit with a stick, that was it. Didn't understand the hips and the sag of her tits. Then I became angry, the story gets grainy. My dominance mainly the result of needing taming. Till that I'm aiming at a target that is flaming. Dominance, hierarchy, bourgeoisie, oligarchy. The art of being a failed copy of a carbon copy. Illuminated still lack the light of a Carminati. Dominance, hierarchy, bourgeoisie, oligarchy. The art of being a failed copy of a carbon copy. Illuminated still lack the light of a Carminati. Dominance, hierarchy, bourgeoisie, oligarchy. The art of being a failed copy of a carbon copy. Illuminated still lack the light of a Carminati.
Bro. High science people, like this is no, we're not trying to pull your chain. This is just what happens when you're inspired. Like I said, I don't know what he's gonna write to. I don't know what's gonna touch him. I just know when I sit down and make beats, I don't even know where I'm gonna go. If it's an organic beat, you know, I might start off with the melody. I might start off with the drums. I might have a bass line in my head. Like I don't know. It just comes together. And this particular track, like I said, the title I got from listening to A.A. Rashid. And the beat though. pure pure socketry. But in making the beat, that stuff you heard, that's trinkets for Jamal. So it's like he heard that, he was like, bro, like that dominance hierarchy is different. And I kind of want them to hear Japanese Denim, bro.
Fuck it. Let's go.
I think that's I think that's one of my best beats I've made.
Yeah,
and I've made a lot of beats, but if I could take y'all into the creation process, and my man's always because my man's like, my man be like, yo, don't give him the sauce. But I'll just say this small bit. I try to make the music talk to each other. That's a concept me and my cousin came up with in the 90s. The bass line is talking to the melody. The drums is the backbone. And when something goes out, something comes in, and that's a conversation. That's all I'm going to say. So if you listen to these beats, it's a system behind it.
This beat definitely screams jazz to me.
100%. It's freeform jazz. It's bebop. You know, in the 50s, it was hard bop. Miles Davis brought in bebop, I believe. And that's what this is. It's an odd time signature. And to go back to the engineer, his name is Matt. He's the triune in think music. Me and Jamal was talking about this the other day about offenses in like basketball and football. Like you got he brought up the Cowboys when they had Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith. And with music, you have a triune. And the engineer is the other part of it. And Matt, he's engineered for Lil Wayne and T.I. and all these guys. So we're dealing with a professional engineer. Professional. Jamal is he's rapping in a $30,000 microphone. You know what I'm saying? So like we have all the pieces in place. Now it's just put the art out. So, Matt's the one mixing this stuff, and he's in tune with what we got going on. What I hear from Jamal is, he's excited to do our music. He's excited with the beats and the lyricism. And then that puts a battery in his back to say, to make him want to mix the heck out of this joint. Because he's into the art. So that's the triune within Think Music. Me, Jamal, and the engineer Matt. We call him MFK because his last name Kennedy. MFK. And that's the triune. So but Japanese Denim definitely has like when y'all hear it, it definitely has like a off signature, but a free jazz feel.
Japanese denim with the sharp creases in them. The king made plans to fool, cost an addendum, whether ruled by right or ruled by force. The people wanted to feel that they actually had a choice. The path they were on required a new course, or amongst their own ranks they were searching for a voice. The royals are bourgeois, elites are bruja. They wanted authentic, organic, no hoopla. Funny how it starts with the best intentions is tainted. A champion rose up but the face he wore was painted. But they saw Messiah, little did they know that the game played was ancient. Create an idol, give him a title. or her, long as the vision blur. Gotta be confused with the character Ben-Hur. Saffron colored jewelry or brooches on fox fur. The long-term effects now studied at Oxford, where they realized the light was still in the Oxford. It's awkward to take flight among the yardbirds. What's the point of speaking truth when the words can't be heard? Thankfully some ears were tuned when it occurred. What is this you mention? Well, give me your attention. It started with some henchmen dressed in Japanese denim. In their pockets lay the secrets of the knockers, but the venom had long been extracted, thought nothing left in them. The underdog is dangerous, watch him go and sick 'em. Saturn, father and son united on December 24th. The truth was then united. 2020 vision for those who once were blinded by Balenciaga belt buckles, bricks, and fake diamonds. Joseph saw Mary approach and broke a hymen. It was love on the rocks, Picard and Neil Diamond. From children of the corn to the light that was shining, such and such, so and so, and the hero keeps climbing. Back in the day, it's not the same as present timing. The people want a spectacle, a martyr, and a shaman. Doctor Strange with an English twang, a Brit full of wit with a watch on chain, a OG hustler in the all-black range. Did 10 back around, diamonds in pinky rain. If God is a man, why does man see God in another man's reality who life's a facade? If flowers grow from feces, dark depths of our being where the ego takes a nod. The puppeteer in Japanese denim gets applause. He's invested in the downfall of the first flaw. Nobody says his name, but they know his game. He controls all the gates with the fiat and fame. Just donate your name. Japanese denim with the sharp creases in them. The king made plans, the food cost an addendum. That shit ridiculous. That is not no easy beat to write to or to spit to. At least not for me. That was I said, how am I? But there's a pocket in there though, you know.
You found it. Because I used to rap, like I told you earlier, I was like, you know, I'll be trying to do little freestyles on my beats or whatever, but I was like, yo, it was really hard for me to catch something, like to catch a cadence on that one.
Look, but man. Hold on, Dap. Let's see here. Let's just say if you was gonna listen to another track, which one would grab you?
Let me look at this playlist. I mean,
I think I know where you're gonna go. Let me see.
I'm thinking either Critical Response or that a Code Anatomy of Man, bro. Like, you know, because I mean, you played Gnosis Nose and Fuzzy Lines, or did you play Fuzzy Lines and Only Train Home?
Fuzzy Line and the Gnosis Nose.
Yeah. So.
Okay, we can
a Code Anatomy of Man or Critical Response. Because Critical Response is like, when y'all listen to the album in totality, he was talking about sequencing earlier. And before I even had the lyrics, I made a when we doing a project, I just make a playlist of the beats. And the thought process behind this sequence was start off with a banger. And I think Japanese Denim is that. Then the album slows down and get mid-tempo. That's where you get the Life in the Balance and the subtle things. And Only Train Home. And then we start speeding back up mid-tempo with Fuzzy Lines. Critical Response goes back a little mid-tempo, and then we end the album with High Energy with a Code Anatomy of Man and Dominance Hierarchy. So that's the sequence of the album. But when you listen to it in totality, you'll see the wavelength of the album, and I think it's a good sequence. I'm big on sequencing, because I listen to many albums and be like, why did they put that behind that, and and this song should have went here and this and that. But how you were saying earlier, when you had to make music, you had to have a single, then you had to have a track for the streets, the women, the club joint. The record business isn't particularly worried about a sequence. I think that's why we only have like a handful of classic albums, because they just not sequenced right. Like one of my favorite albums was Nas It Was Written. I don't know who sequenced that, but that's an ill sequence, and that album's crazy. But yeah, that was the science behind this. Come in on fire, slow you down a little bit, get back to the mid tempo, and with high energy.
Okay. Well, since we went high energy with Japanese denim, come back with this. In an emergent situation, how do you respond? How do you respond? Here we go. I'm gonna start it over. In an emergent situation, how do you respond? How do you respond? How do you respond? The game is so nuanced, from Ponce de Leon to Camp Wisdom, he's in trance. No kilogram of Libra scales to lean on. He weigh work, but bibliography sees on. What is he talking about? It's simple, he's a scholar, worker in magical proportions, pop a collar, smell the aroma, manifest in Akihala, the Akhenaten, archetype, artesian water, the wellspring out of which comes a new order. When Demeter's daughter escapes underworld and water, a new babe is born with sword aimed to slaughter. The demon, Simon, Castle Grey Skull, Golgotha word spit, poetic pen pulls the minds of old men out the past to bellies full. This is a critical response, a renaissance, so past the gray poupon. From yonder way come what have the father spawned, a waving pawn that resonates with reason. And this is think music, and play as if you choose it, then please don't abuse it. When Dunlap cues and the word verse imbues it, the sky blue hues it, the sun blaze infuses. A treatise from the triple lord they feeding on, the game sweeter than organically grown corn. Etruscan habits, you grill with Miles Davis horn. Stand atop the mount where the freeze on. A thunderstorm, the breeze blow on. Think music, season, we ease on. Down the road. A critical response, the world needs one. There are certain forces that are trying to cover up the sun and poison food, water, children. Minds and hopes they don't become. Still the real wars inside your front door, don't run. The champion don't need a gun. The weaponry is an effigy of the old he or she. Now a new child is born. Think. Those are the trinkets. That's why we want you to listen in a dark room, quiet, with your headphones on.
Yeah.
You want to know this cold anatomy?
Blow something.
Yeah, if that's what you do.
You twist something. Get in your zone. Listen to this in your comfort zone with headphones on, though.
Right.
Now put your earbuds in, blow something, sip you some wine, whatever you think, as my brother would say, whatever your twist is. Get into your zone, put the kids to sleep, and bang out the whole joint. They play the whole joint all the way through.
Right.
Bang out. Occult Anatomy of Man.
No
Fuck 'em.
skips.
No skips. No skippers.
I stand on 26 bones in my feet. Does your hey why hey come correct with me? Shin the sound with fire touch water then 300 men slain by the movement of the wind 360 degrees, so let's begin. By the bend of the knee, Saturn fits his end. With two femurs crossed with a skull, they're closing in. It's either man or beast who is folding. The young chipper, Yom Kippur, knows a holy of holies lies behind the zipper. The sanctuary adorned in statuaries, the sacred bone where the vibrations can vary. The song of the spine that played wrong is scary, can prevent Adam Catman from reaching Mount Airy. Next to Mayberry, the Hiram high head, that's Aries. A ram in the bush, give that script a second look. 7 vertebrae from the neck got you hooked. That's Taurus when the great word is formed in the throat of Horus. So ancient hymnals can be sung in chorus. All I have heard of substance is the middle. The nose, mouth, neck, heart, phallus, front and central. The womb for the woman is the portal with placental. The occult anatomy of man, monumental. That's spiritual, physical, and mental. When they align, best believe not accidental. The mind oriental, chop wood, carry essentials. The saying on the word that exits through the dentals. The only savior that the adult soul knows is the burning bush within which the heart is unfroze. Orthol, the southpaw meets on the level. Leaves on the silently disclose or get disheveled. My mind lit like a rolly with diamond bezel. The word, the word, the word, the word, the word. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Flirt with the future is as close as my shirt. Better yet, my skin, microorganisms at work. Every cell is a light body, a fallen angel. And every angle is a light that is quantum entangled. Every breath contains fire, air, and water. While the body is the earth, they place it in order. So-called elites and get with this, my sons and daughters. I'm their father and they know it. They know it. My body intact and I'm immortal. That's a proven fact. Yeah, complete. And there is no lack. Higher top Mount Ararat with a dish dashy on like I'm Yasser Arafat. But this ain't PLO, it's that God flow. The fire is hidden from the profane to know the occult anatomy of man. The light is shown. The occult anatomy of man. The light is shown. Yeah, the occult anatomy of man. The light is shown. The occult anatomy of man. The light is shown. I think we got a dope project.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
And to appreciate it, you just got to listen to it from start to finish. Let's see here.
And we plan it out of order, so
Yeah.
this isn't the sequence that you're hearing it in.
Let's see. Flutes play.
Right time. Here you are. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing, bro.
Holy train. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see.
What do the people think? Who's ever watching?
I don't know. We might have put them to sleep, hell. I don't know. It's
Whoever watched this later, comment what you think.
Yeah, let us know.
If you're still watching while we live, what do you think? Honest opinion.
Let's see. Let's go here. This one of my favorites too. When flutes play. I'm feeling like Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. They want me to lose my balance like I got vertigo. It's vertical that I go to, but touch the cervical. Spying my mind, oh my, better than apple pie. A Mac systems, the word catch rhythm. Spaz out when flutes play, empty space fill 'em with bars that fragment like glass prisms. If they want the game, here's some fair, go and get 'em. But I promise you the tongue is a sword, might split 'em. Infuse the source in you with the first breath blue. There's fire in my shoes on top of my head too. It can warm, it can light or burn, it's up to you. The book's red like oxidized iron, the crook's blade. The blade pointed, pencil in hand, the beast fed. The bull stops here, I grip horns and get ahead. Left the carcass in the mountains of the Caucasus. The consequences of dabbling in metropolises. The city's opposites live the life of opulence, while the chosen, the few, is rather obvious when flutes play. When flutes play. Yeah. When flutes play, they say the feet move like Pele. Sharp knife fillet. When the words spit finay. When flutes play, they say the feet move like Pele. Sharp knife fillet. When the words spit finay. You may ask, Jamal, why you speaking such coded metaphor? My reply so I can let hot air pass like a matador. My math's a cure for the unaccounted for, pure, who lost the jewel but confined to fraudulent source. The smell is hell, but you be amazed what manure can spark life in. When the odds ain't right, then seed still finds miraculous ways to grow at night. Sin is the move of primal ocean. Sit round 80 BPM so I can go in. Fire hit, water smoking. Every word spoken is a token to mend what has been broken. The flute melody floating. Something bubbling in the pot, lethal potion. Sniff, get a whiff, it's a gift. Him most high, most fly, most shy. I am that I am with a clear eye. The word. I love that shit.
Yes, Black Butterfly. Yes. That's it. That's how sitting with my dad and my pops. That's how I had to learn how to listen to jazz. Like me and my uncle, I told Jamal this story. Me and my uncle Greg, we sat down, we listened to Miles Davis, So What? I think 6 times. We listened to each artist, each player, and then we listened to it in its totality. So first listen, you listen to Miles. Second listen, you listen to Coltrane. Third listen, you listen to Cannonball Adderley. I think he was on the piano. Elvin Jones on the drums, and I forget who was playing bass. Because when you're listening to jazz and you single your ear on what each person's doing, you have to listen to them. You like if you listening to the drummer, you'll hear him hitting cymbals and hi-hats in ways like it's he's playing with it. So you gotta like listen to the track where you just listen to the drums, and then you gotta listen to it where you just listen to Miles, to Coltrane come in. Then Coltrane comes in, you definitely gotta listen to Coltrane for sure. And then you gotta listen to Cannonball, and you start hearing when they're playing differently when Miles and Coltrane are playing. And then when it's Adderley's turn for his solo, the drums are different. And I don't think this song had a drum solo in it, but they're playing different under each person. And that's why we saying listen to it a couple times, and then you'll start finding things. Like I tell Jamal all the time, like where he pause at, and then what's the beat going at when he pauses. Miles Davis is big on in jazz. They had this term where they say emptiness. Emptiness is emptiness is a sound, like where the beat drops at. You know, when these beats drop, and that's a part of. Well, I put beat drops of my own, and the ones I don't, that's where Matt comes in and put beat drops in. So when the beat drop, listen to what's going on in space, where there's no lyrics, and it just drop and what's going on, and then how he comes back in and what's playing when he comes back in. Like that's how you got to listen to this music, all of our music.
Indeed.
This right here, and he's played some other tracks on this, you know, while he's, you know, talking astrology and what have you. I know he plays songs in the intro of the video, but like he said, we made a lot of music, so we have stuff in the can that that you haven't heard, but it's all like that. It's more than one. It's more than one listen. You have to listen to it a few times to get the depth of it. And that's what we're putting into the music. So this ain't no microwave music. This isn't we trying to get sales. Like we really feel like we dealing in high science, art, and we don't feel like no one in the industry is doing what we're doing. So that's how we coming at it.
I'm gonna tell you why the input from Black Butterfly is something to also that is high honor. She's a serious pianist.
Oh wow.
So she's an artist. So to receive, you know, positive feedback from someone who actually makes art. You know, if you go to, like I say, every now and then I go on my little I might click on somebody's profile. I'm like, let me see who is this person. And I remember years ago popped up, she playing. So yeah, so high honors, you know, coming from an artist. Let me see. Look,
Thank
man.
you, Divine Rights. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. This okay.
Life in the Balance.
Oh, I forgot about that. I was okay. Okay, I was gonna go Only Train.
Okay. And when y'all hear Only Train Home, I think you'll see why I named it that. It's a lot of stuff going on in that beat.
Okay. I'm gonna do Only Train while I'm uploading.
And if you got some beats, well, I know we older now, so we don't do the 212s in the trunk anymore. But if you got a nice home stereo and you could bang out for a little bit before the neighbors get agitated, or you got a decent factory, or even if you have beats, these songs sound good in beats for sure.
Okay.
Tough. There is only one way out of here.
Muddy. It's all causal. Hormones rage forth and stop menopausal. Menopause on. Colossal words that once spoke, then find the nearest sword to fall on. There's only one train home, one ticket. So speak easy, think freely when walking through the thicket. Let the game drop like the leak from old spigots. Steer clear of barrel crabs, kleptos and bigots. Is this your stop? Where the derelicts congregate and run from the cops. We're in the midst of poverty. Clergy drive drop tops. Got armor bearers, rings, mascara, cameras, the whole lot. During the lockdown, this was the thesis. Send 10 shekels to get protected by Jesus. Lies behind the ties. Game never dies. Pimps realize that it's best to be disguised. Through the skies fly digital hawks with all-seeing eye. Before the game's over, you must know why. Poseidon and Zeus brought the juice. In the month of April, the year deuce, deuce, deuce. If you called it then cool, you got a chance to roll. Many the foolish just fool will get sucked in the pool. Yeah, is this prophetic words or just mere blurs? I don't know, I'm just hoping you heard. And I'm just hoping you heard. Think music. I'm just hoping you heard. Listen. I'm just hoping you heard.
Are you listening?
And I'm just hoping you heard. Not following herds. Cause what good is a man if not found with his word? The road curves, but the truth is sober. Never do swerve. One must have audacity, will, and the nerve. Cause sacred is the fire, the flame that never tires. The one train home is the mind in the zone. The magic washing oil as opposed to cheap cologne. The king rules by right as he ascends to the throne. But be careful cause infection can eat through the bone. My advice, extracted with a sharp knife exacted. Within your faction, keep a spirit of action. Fools collect data, wise men sift for diamonds that matter. Cause quality is godlike. When young souls chased after limelight, the honorable noble serves oblivious to spotlights. Home is the place where I lie in light. Illumination to restore my insight. That's my answer to the plight. Only train home. Yeah. That's my answer to the plight. Only train home.
When I made that,
That's grimy.
when I got done making that, I was like, that sounded like a train coming into the station and people standing on the platform. That's why I named that beat Only Train Home. That sound like when the brakes is squealing to stop. So yeah, that's why I named that beat Only Train Home.
For sequencing purposes, when you listen to the album, what will come on after that will be this. Which I played this already. In certain Hindu teachings, it's said that we are bound to the wheel of reincarnation or the wheel of samsara until we achieve enlightenment, the realization and cultivation of the inner light. And that's the way out of here. That's the only train home. So as it applies to the dominance hierarchy, we always think that their motives are to make more money, but that ain't the case. The money only matters for peasants, commoners. The true goal of the dominance hierarchy is to keep souls trapped here. For what, you may ask? To be their food. Of course I'm jaded. What you expect when the cost of goods and services is constantly being inflated. Times is fickle, people with the same heritage as Don Rickle want the whole world in a pickle. If you ain't caking, it's probably trickle. Down started when Ronnie Reagan was round. And the round mound of rebound could really bound. off the spectrum floor. Meanwhile, I knew drugs in town. Suddenly we go to white from brown. Life in the balance got you busting down. But that was then, what about now? The same song plays, the rhythm just different. When the pressure gets applied, the common man is livid. May create a murder scene in the place he live in. The world's robbing, no one's giving. It's downhill like Tyson with Robin Given. The soul is frigid when its freedom is inhibited. My job claiming work-life balance. While peeking in my window, I need a valance. Try to escape the grasp of the eagle's talons. While the matrix say they love me for my talent. But one wrong step and offbeat breath can leave me bereft of connection to self. The medication I need ain't on the shelf. Life is in the balance. For real. Yeah. Whether triple beam or digital, your way up game at all times is critical. Balancing between the physical and spiritual. Not an easy task, avoidance can be typical. The mystical mind of the sage feels the middle pool. Across the abyss, he steps wearing Harold wool. He uses tools as he walks to the land of Shul. The soul is full, speaks the power of the sacred bull. Sacrifice is the opposite of foolish vice. Time and discipline maketh thou the greatest thrice. Best as possible, keep your mind sharp as knife. Cause overlooking details causes strife. Life in the balance, whether right or wrong, this is the current plight. Prolong, nothing right now, take flight. Yes, home, the sun first rise at night. The swan song. Life in the balance.
Oh man, it's crazy that 808 kicking.
Well, look, we done played this. We might as well just go back and a little refresher. Why not go on and hit them with this? You are listening to Think Music. Al-Aqdar, the king on this Aladdin. It's a sharp line between superb and mean. It gets fuzzy when the listener's ear ain't that keen. The creme de la is mixed with a lesser cream. Still its lexicon is focused like a laser beam. Pierce the forehead with the sting of a pinky ring. The bliss it bring when the angelic force is seen is like the subtle kiss of butterfly's wings. Knowledge reigns supreme, no time for genuflection. Get off your knees, God, in this cycle resurrection. Dissect these bars, paperclip every section. You gon' find when you rewind, yes, every time, that every word spit shine like a newly minted dime. Make the crowd stand up like a erect spine, or a proud Georgia pine that was winning on the mind. No, fuzzy line, yeah, the word divine. The left hand hold a quill pen dipped in black ink. The 16's a warm up after 48 I breathe. And I warn you, don't sleep, cause I got more under my sleeve. Even the mind of Minota in the 80s could conceive. This young lad's words will one day make the world believe. No please or maybes, probablys could these. The true tales of a priest who rose some thieves. The ease with which he squeezed others and make cheese degrees. Higher than travelers could offer the people's pleas. For a serious MC, been answered the word complete. Convergent bees and virgin seeds, leak pollen seeds, emerging G's, men God increase. The mark is east, to calm the beast. I rise like yeast in chords of E. The organ sings unordinary. The orbs on me, vocabulary exemplary. So pardon me, I'm parting seas, apart from these, a part of me. Divinity, the artistry is arson, see. It's suggested that you follow me, rather by plane, train, donkey, or feet. This particular genre we call meta rap, aggressively led by the word in Dap Dunlap. Think Music, simply put the future's roadmap. Follow the man with a pitcher with water, and that's that. And that's that. And that's that. Yeah. And this is Think Music. When Dunlap cues it, the word voice infuse it. And this is think music. When Dunlap cues it, the word voice infuse it. This is think music. When Dunlap cues it, the word voice imbues it. Yes, sir.
That beat right there. So I was watching this movie, and it got to a particular scene. There was no dialogue, but that I chopped that playing the back and forth arrows on my keyboard. My computer keyboard. And I kept playing it back and forth. I'm like, yo, this is something. Because I heard it and I was like, let me tap these arrows. So I'm hitting, I think I did like 1 forward, 2 back or something like that. And I tried to sample it like that off of my keyboard, but I couldn't. So I took the sound and found I took that, I sampled that part in the movie, chopped it up, and found how I did it on my keyboard and chopped it on the pads.
Damn.
That
That's you going back and forth.
That was me on, like when I first did it, that was me doing it on my computer keyboard. And I was like, oh, I found something. Like I never found anything like that before. Doing that. But I couldn't sample it like that into the machine. So I was like, damn, it was crazy. So I just went and sampled the sound, and then how I chopped it on the pads. Like so for those that don't know, chopping is like there's 16 pads. You put a piece of sound on each pad, you replay it, and that's how you chop samples. That's how they become unrecognizable. So I found it chopping it on the pads, and then I made the beat. This was the beat I'm talking about when you listen to it and you was like, I was waiting for the trinkets to come in, and that doom doom came in. Doom doom doom. Yeah. He was like, yo, I heard that and was like, this is one. So
yeah. Yo, can I interject something?
Mm-hmm.
You just triggered my mind. Those trinkets influence how the lyrics are written. Cause you like when you hear that, you like, okay, I need to change either my cadence or my inflection or a certain type of series of words rhyming, because it's like yesterday we were talking, whenever that was, I was like, normally you have a movie, then you score the movie. I said this process is opposite. The score is laid down first, and then I'm writing the movie to the score.
Indeed.
Because the those trinkets are dictating how the bars is gonna, it's like, oh shit, it's a little excitement. Like, I'm gonna write it. Let me go on to a flurry. But yeah, my bad. That's why I just
that's all I had. It was like that beat right there was just, that was an interesting beat to make. And I think if you like, when you really listen to it, you'll see how the instruments talk to each other. And that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah. So when I'm making beats, and sometimes I play the beat back and I don't even know I did it. Like I'll be just so in the moment of making the beat, and then when I listen to it a few times, I start finding shit in it that wasn't intentionally. I didn't intentionally mean it to be that way. So I don't know. This process is just it's real interesting when you in the heat of creating. Yeah, it's just real interesting. I don't know where it comes from, but I'm glad it comes out.
Well, I think we played 9. We might as well finish with the last one on the 4, 6, 8. Yep. We might as well round it out with the Gnosis Knows. Under the utmost compression, subtle forces gather, linear time testing. Dormer for the elect, for others karma pressing. The law is impeccable, above it some professing. Foolish the mortal's lessons still seem as necessary. In what is he investing? Some in the status of an outdated atlas. Feet slip trying to scale a slope up in Aspen. Aspiration for the asthmatic Adam Cadman. Arm, leg, arm, head, who's the captain? The ship or the vessel, the head where the feet trail. When the last breath is took, the way up is entrails. Heart versus feather, forever versus never. The iron soft mind coughs your hard stormy weather. Peace be still, every word as a shield. The arrow point sharp so every syllable you feel. Visible to the visionaries, heard in every monastery. Flow like a tributary, the tried and true, the gnosis knows the commentary. Concomitant to the Candlemas in February. The hero bows his back, although the road ahead is scary. The journey lingers, the wounds deeper. Transition from light bearer to light bringer. For everything under the sun, there's a season. For every cause, there is effect and a reason. Fine resin left behind from halal bleeding. Fresh manna, pure water, air and lungs breathing. Flesh tanner, sure order, stare at the heathen. No banner, quiet manner, this trip I'm leaving. Ascension, attention, cycle of the gleaning. No psilocybin, these sober bars you're reading. No simple babble, I beg your pardon, I'm cleaving. To the rock the temple was built upon an evening. Before the day broke and the word spoke, a thought approach. Ancient fire hidden in inner worlds and the opal brooch. And plain as tire wisdom enfolds like a gospel note. The arc of Sothis carry souls onward to a new abode. The darker night is where it shows the truth is that the gnosis knows. The darker night is where it shows the truth is that the gnosis knows. Knows.
Yes, yes, yes. And more yes.
Well, we were only planning on playing 2, but we ended up playing the whole and out of order, but that's our offering. And so we're going to be ramping up efforts.
I'm sorry.
From now till the winter solstice. And we are calling on those who rock with this to share in the journey. You know,
Yes.
The plan is to put it on wax, you know, album and CDs. And so you can have a physical copy, signed copy. So yeah, we'll we'll keep everybody up to date, as we get to that moment. Who knows? You may see a video. Pop up. But I want to take a detour of sorts. It is Scorpio season, and we have a stellium in Scorpio right now. We got Mercury, we got Mars, the traditional ruler of Scorpio. We got the sun in Scorpio. And we got a lot of water right now. We got Jupiter in Cancer. We got Neptune is back in Pisces. Saturn is in Pisces. There's a lot of water right now. And it's a lot of emotion and passion is permeating the cosmos, right? And the earth plane. So I think I want to play something that I think lines up with Scorpio energy. This is not from the project. This is just some art. So
that's not what I heard today, is it?
I'm thinking about it.
Yes, show them that dexterity. Yes.
So that made this beat. I'm from North Carolina, so that from Jersey. So, well, Jersey by way of PA. Either way, up north to us.
And Michigan. Can't forget MI.
And Michigan.
Yes,
so from where we from, we grew up on Loop and that Atlanta booty shake music, and No Limit and Cash. Well, by the time No Limit and Cash Money, we was already teenagers. But so he comes up with a beat, and I don't know, when was this? Was this 23? It's been a minute, at least 2 years.
From a movie I was watching on Netflix.
I took a picture of my phone, and I know for sure that
this could have been in 22 also, bro.
January 12, 2023 is when I wrote this. So it had to be, you had to send it at least at the end of 22 or the beginning of 23.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what the fuck he on? He on some, this is some Atlanta shit,
That's what my brother said. I was playing some beat. We was going to Walmart one day, and I was playing some beats, and this came on. He said, "Yo, what's that?" He said, "Yo, this sound like some Detroit Jet." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Bro, that wasn't even my intention. My tempo range is from 88 down.
Yeah.
When I want to play around, I'll go into I'll play around in the 90s. Let's just say that. So this beat is in the 90s. But my range is 88 and down. That's my wheelhouse. But when I want to just let me see what I could do in the 90s, 90 BPM. And that's what this is.
And that's fast for me, because I'm not no fast talker. I'm not no fast rapper, So, but we did a little something with it. At least I tried to.
Yes. Yeah, you rode this though. You killed this, bro.
And I think I want you to really, really lean in and push your headphones in, because this is definitely a song for Scorpio season. It's called Moving Silhouettes.
Moving silhouettes, move head and neck. Keep
press chest against the goddess breast. Outflow milk and honey next, cause he rose up and passed the test. He pushed while her she stretched. She endure until he rests. Gunners, Russers, Tammers, yes. Tejas fluids flood the bed. In her blood the legend says, live the essence where kings bred. Split a mountain, split her legs. Out come ocean water sped. Blue and yellow mixed with red. That make brown the world is fed. Off the medulla inside her head. Off the wall the crown emerges. She said a child is born, a path is tread. Israel, the tribes are led. His obelisk is obvious. Found in the middle of the metropolis. The oculus, eroticus, or raghouse kisses and philosophers. Needless to say, no stopping this. The alchemist, lobotomist, tantric physiologist. Move, 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 as he emerged from the sanctuary, his bare Blackfoot like a Cherokee. The day breaks, the sky show a blue canopy. His anime spoke candidly about the episode where he handily putting that work where the waters be. The burning bush where the God is seen. If you know what I mean, then put your hands up, no wait, they can be seen. The shouts and screams, exploring the joy it brings. From the first side down to the den of thieves. The thirst I got for you, come and quench it, please. In return, I gotta put a wigger in your knees. Hey, if you knew you'd be friending me, probably examining on bending knee. Say, stop playing and tempting me. This is fire in your midst, not a fantasy. Move. This ain't my wheelhouse, but I had to do it just on GP. But the beat is jamming. I could just listen to the beat without the lyrics. But I said I'm gonna try it anyway.
Yeah, I knew you was going to the studio today to do the other joint. So when you sent me two clips, I'm like, okay. And I hit it. I said, oh, he did it. I called you ASAP, bro. I was like, yo, I'm at work like, yo, people looking at me like, what's going on? Like, I'll be in my own world. I'm like, yo, he did it. I banged that joint a couple times at work. I'm like, yo, he went in on that. I said, he's taking us pop. I said, yo, you taking us pop with this one, fam. This some dance. Like, somebody could do a dance to this joint.
Yeah, that's some down south. That's some booty shake. That's what we call that. Like, but yeah, just having some fun, man. But either way, for me, I'm saying I appreciate everybody tuning in.
For sure.
And
thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out. We chop it up. I know this is not the typical. We didn't get into a lot of astrology and things of that nature, but humans are multifaceted creatures, and this is part of who we are, and just thankful that we're able to put some art together.
Yes.
And put it out to the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who knows what to do once it get into the world.
Yeah.
But I do know, I hear a lot of people talking about there's no quote unquote real hip hop and this and that. And some of our greats that's dropping albums, they still in a 95 bag. So this is just new art to put into the atmosphere, something different. That when the people hear it, I feel like they'll take to it. For sure. So hope y'all enjoy what y'all heard tonight. The album will be dropping December 21st. Dominance Hierarchy. We already damn, excuse me. We have 2 other projects in the can that are on the same level or higher. You know what I'm saying? We just got we got a lot of music in the tuck. We have a lot of music out. If you go to the Think Music Bandcamp page, you can see the previous efforts. But I think the music we have in the can is once again high science.
Yeah. Yeah. When you listen, put your headphones on.
Just put it like this. We got a project, and I'm not going to even go into it, but I'm just going to say it's only 3 songs. But when you look at the length of them, you're going to go, what the hell is this? That's all I'll say.
Yep.
And when we get ready to put that out, we'll do another one of these and give you the background on that project also. But yeah, me and the brother be talking in private, and we talk about a lot of different things. And when it comes to the art, we both on the same wavelength. And the way we make music, I send him beats, he write what he's influenced by. It's the pure, organic way to make music. It allows me to be who I am on the beat side. It allows him to be who he is on the lyricism side. And then it all melds together through MFK.
Yep.
So you're getting pure, unadulterated hip hop. And that's just it.
Art is everything. Art is God, source, divinity expressing itself. That's art. And so as we create, express, and put out art, the goal is to also encourage, you to as well create art. And art is not just music, it's not just visual art, it's culinary, it is whatever your skill is. Get on me yet. Okay. Wait a minute. When you get a chance, check out what I made at Secret Balance at Sono. It's in the music, so don't get on me yet. What you mean don't get on me yet? What you mean? Okay, I'm gonna go check you out, Divine Rights. What is Sono? Is that you know what that is, Dap? Is that a app?
I'm not sure. It sounds familiar though.
But I never heard of Sono. It says create a song and play. It must be something like SoundCloud.
Okay.
Oh, AI music creator?
Oh, I think I'm not sure. I watched Lupe Fiasco do a song with AI. you can prompt it on what type of. I seen him do it with rap. You could prompt it on what kind of rhyme you wanted to write. So you could say a conscious street rap, and it'll come up with something. And then it kind of help you if you were right. Like if you want to rap, it could help you. Let's say that.
Mm,
You could take pieces from it and add your own, and you know what I mean. But it'll write a whole rap. I watched Lupe Fiasco do it. I don't know if it was on Suno though, but I seen him use AI, not for himself, like just showing you what you could do with it, because you know he has a pen. You don't need no
right.
AI. But he was just showing you what you could do with it. I think he was sponsored by somebody to do it. But I seen watching him, I seen that joint write a whole rap.
Mm,
A whole rap, bro.
very interesting.
Whole joint. So your new ghostwriter might be AI.
Yeah. Yeah, they make you see, you gotta sign in just to listen. They got you on the you just can't they won't let you just email it email me email it to me, Divine Rights, because I don't want to sign up with them. They forcing you. They don't even want to let you. They won't even let you listen. Yeah. Well, good people. It's crazy late. 1:27. I'm gonna get ready to head to the hills. It's been real. Good rapping with your good brother.
Yes, sir.
Good rapping with the people. Appreciate y'all once again. And as always, to stay down till you get up. When you get up, stay down. And definitely you want to know the stars and know yourself. And on that note, I say peace.
Peace.